In this video, we're going to go through a complete step-by-step guide on how to get your real estate license in the state of Missouri, and we're going to cover some important questions to ask when picking your first brokerage to give yourself the highest chance of success. And at the end of the video, we're going to cover all the costs associated with getting licensed so you know exactly how much to budget. Let's dive right into the video. My name is Chris with the Empire of Real Estate YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about real estate, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. Before we get started, I want to offer you our free How to Get Licensed and Start Your Real Estate Career Guide. Everything in this video, plus a little bit more, is inside that guide. So to get your copy, there's a link down in the description below. Before you can start the process, you have to meet a couple basic requirements in order to get licensed in Missouri. The first one is you must be 18 years old or older, and you must have a high school diploma or a GED. The very first step to getting your license in the state of Missouri is completing the state's real estate pre-license education requirements. In Missouri, you're required to complete 72 hours of state-approved pre-license education classes. And yes, I know, 72 hours is a ton of time to sit in a classroom, especially if you have a busy 9-to-5 job or just a busy schedule in general. Because of this, we recommend you check out Colibri Real Estate School. They offer these classes online, which gives you more flexibility, and you can do them at your own pace. If you want to check them out, there's an affiliate link down below with different sales and discounts. Once you complete the real estate pre-licensed education, I would take a week to study because this exam has a very high failure rate. So to avoid that, I want to give you a couple basic tips to increase your odds of passing the exam. The very first one is to spend an hour every single day for at least a week, time blocking and studying. So you could read textbooks, or you can just go through the material that you got with your pre-licensed education classes, and I would really study that for at least an hour a day. The next tip is to find a real estate study buddy. This is somebody that can go through this process with you, that can quiz you, that can hold you accountable to studying, and somebody that you can just study with. So finding a real estate study buddy can be a total game changer and increase your odds of passing because it's going to be a lot more fun to study, and you're probably going to do it more because you're enjoying the process a lot more, and you're probably going to retain a lot more because you can quiz each other and do it in a more interactive way. If you can't find a real estate study buddy and the textbooks just aren't doing it for you, then I would check out Prep Agent. I use Prep Agent to pass my exam, and it's a test-like simulation tool that you can use to study, and it's very interactive, and you can take the quizzes online, and it will tell you what you're getting wrong and what you're getting right, and it definitely gave me the confidence to pass my exam, so I highly recommend them. If you want to check them out, there's an affiliate link down in the description below, and they do a great job. Once you feel confident that you can pass the exam, it's time to schedule. The exams are done with PSI Exam. They're a third-party testing company, and you can go on their website or give them a call. They're going to want 24 hours notice in advance to schedule your test, just to make sure that they have availability on their calendar and a time that actually works for you. So give them at least 24 hours notice, and you can go schedule your exam with PSI Exams. On test day, you're going to want to bring a couple basic things to the testing center. The first thing is a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the exam, and 2 forms of identification to get in on test day. Once you walk into the testing center and sit down, you're going to notice that the questions are all multiple choice, which is a good thing because this is a closed book exam. So having the questions multiple choice makes it a lot easier. And one quick tip is to not rush through the exam. The majority of people are going to finish this early anyway, and I would suggest you read each question multiple times before you submit your answer, because this will give you a much higher chance of passing because the questions can be written in a tricky way. And if you don't read them a couple times, you might answer something wrong that you actually knew the right answer to. So don't rush through the test, and you're probably going to finish early anyway. Once you walk out of the testing center, you're going to know right away if you passed or failed. Now, if you failed the exam, it's not a big deal. A lot of the top agents throughout the country have failed the exam the first time they took it, and it's not an indicator that you're going to be a bad real estate agent. In fact, you might be a great real estate agent, and this is not a sign to give up on the process. It just means you have to study a little bit harder, do a little bit more work, and then come back and give it another try. Now, if you did pass the exam, then it's time to celebrate. Pat yourself on the back because this is a big accomplishment. You put a lot of work in with the pre-licensing education, and now it's all paying off and you pass your exam. The next step is to complete your background check and your fingerprinting. So in Missouri, you're going to be required to get a background check done, and they're just checking to make sure that you have nothing on your record that would prevent you from getting licensed. The next step is a lot of fun. You get to start looking for your first real estate brokerage. So in Missouri, you're required to be sponsored under a broker, and you're going to have to pick a brokerage to work under. So this part can be fun, but it can also be challenging. And if you didn't know, 87% of agents fail out of the business. So picking the right first brokerage is a very important step of this process. So the good news is most brokerages will hire you as a new agent. There's not much risk. Most pay 100% commission. So they'll take on new agents. But the important questions you want to ask will really set you up for failure or success. So I want to give you a couple important questions that I would ask if I was starting this process all over again as a newly licensed agent. The first question I would ask is, do you offer mentorship? Having a mentor for the first 3 to 5 deals is extremely important. I remember when I first started, having a mentor was a total game changer. I just didn't know what to do, and there were so many issues in my first 3 to 5 deals. Having somebody there to call that has the experience to help me through these deals was a total game changer. So asking this question up front is very important because you're going to want to be paired up with somebody that has experience that can help get you through these tough first deals. The next important question to ask is what kind of training systems you have in place. Now, don't confuse a training system with a mentor. They're two separate things. A mentor is there to help you through tough times. They're probably producing, they probably have their own business going on. A training system is more like a step-by-step process or a step-by-step training module or classes that you can go into on a regular basis, and it will outline the entire process, kind of like a system on how to start your business and how to get it off the ground and how to make it successful. So I remember when I first started, I came into the office and I just didn't know what to do. You know, it was the first day and I looked around and I'm like, what am I even supposed to be doing? And because everybody there is an independent contractor, they're kind of busy doing their own things, and they're not going to be able to walk you through every single little step of getting started. So having some kind of a system or program that you can follow is a total game changer. The next question to ask is, how are you going to generate business? Now, a lot of agents really love the business, and that's not why they fail, and that's not why they quit. They quit because they can't afford to stay in the business because they're not making any money. So asking this question up front is extremely important. So you want to ask, how are you going to teach me how to generate business? And there's a couple answers you're going to probably get. The very first one is SOI marketing. So if you have a big network, this might be great for you. This is just marketing to your friends, your family, people you know. And agents have built 6-figure businesses doing this method alone. But if you don't have a huge network, you might want to find a brokerage that offers leads, that can teach you how to market, that can teach you how to prospect to people that you don't know. And this is the boat that I was in when I first started out because I didn't have a huge network and I was only 22 years old. So I had to find a place and I had to find a brokerage that was going to teach me how to go out and generate business. So this is a conversation you want to have up front so you can decide if it's the perfect place for you or if you want to keep looking. Oh, and by the way, we are looking for new agent partners in Missouri. So if you're interested in partnering with me over at Team Power Unit, definitely click the link down below. I can jump on a 30-minute Zoom call and see if it's a good fit. And if not, at least maybe I can point you in the right direction. The next step is submitting your license application. So you're going to package up your past real estate exam, your completed real estate pre-license education, and your past background check. Submit it with your license application, and then you just have to wait to hear back. Once you hear back and they approve it, you're ready to hang your license with your first brokerage and get started and start building a new career. So definitely an exciting time. But before we go, I do want to go over the cost so you know how much to budget to get started. The first cost that I wanted to dive into is the real estate pre-license education classes. And I would budget between $250 and $500 to get this done. The next cost is your background check and fingerprinting. I would budget between $75 and $100 to get this done. Next, you have your exam fee, which I would budget about $65 to get done if you pass the first time. If you have to come back and retake it, just account for another test fee. that you're going to have to pay. Next, you have the license application fee, which I would budget about $50 to get done. Last but not least, I would budget between $200 and $500 to get started with your first brokerage and get E&O insurance. So as you can tell, getting licensed isn't that much money. The hardest part is getting through the pre-license education and passing your exam. So if you're going to get licensed this year, drop it in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And if you have questions about getting licensed, drop that in the comment section below as well. And I'll do my best to get back to you and help out. Thanks so much for tuning in, and you have a great week.